2 months ago, Dubai was the epicenter of wealth, with a 94% occupancy rate. Today, that number has dropped straight below 20%. You heard it right. Dubai International Airport, once the busiest in the world, is now eerily silent. The golden corridors are deserted. The 7-star hotel is empty. Even at the foot of the magnificent Burj Khalifa, the long lines of people stretching for kilometers have vanished without a trace. The city known as the city that never sleeps seems to be falling into a deep coma. Dubai is cracking and fracturing at an unstoppable pace. What caused this luxurious empire to collapse in the blink of an eye? The truth behind these abandoned skyscrapers will send shivers down your spine. Let's decode the sudden decline of the richest city in the world right now. Take a close look at what is happening in Dubai right now. Dubai International Airport, once the lifeblood of global tourism, now looks like an abandoned terminal. The electronic board is no longer filled with flights, but full of the words, delayed, canceled, rescheduled. This is the busiest hub in the world, and now, almost no one passes through. Don't get me wrong, this is not a short-term pause or a decline. What is really going on? But that's just part of it. Looking over at the infinity pools that used to be the sanctuaries of the ultra-rich on Instagram, now they are silent, like the surface of a mirror lake in a watery graveyard. The luxury stores at Dubai Mall, where money used to burn faster than gasoline, now only have mannequins standing guard over empty corridors. A user wrote on Reddit, "I just stayed at Palm Jumeirah. It felt like I was renting the entire resort for myself." It sounds luxurious, but in reality, it is a sign of a system that no one is operating anymore. Data is something that doesn't lie, and in Dubai, it is screaming. The room occupancy rate, once a proud 90%, has plummeted below 20%. The number of flight bookings, vaporized 80%. Every time the sun sets over the Persian Gulf, this city burns hundreds of millions of dollars just to keep the air conditioning machines running for breathable air. A golden sandcastle is melting under the 40-degree heat, as one netizen commented. And they were not wrong. Dubai is fundamentally a gamble of faith. When people believe, sand turns into gold. When faith wavers, gold can also turn to dust. Thousands of people have quietly left, leaving the keys on the dashboards of dust-covered Lamborghinis. They no longer have the strength to continue dreaming this desert dream. The question is no longer how rich Dubai is, but how long can Dubai endure this hunger? An economic illusion is being revealed. And the truth lies behind those kaleidoscopic walls. Much scarier than you think. To understand the pain of the collapse, first, you must behold the peak at which this city once reigned. It's not just tall, it's audacious. Dubai does not weaken gradually. It has just stepped down from its own throne. Before Dubai became empty, it used to be a place no one thought could be empty. Just last year, the world had to bow before a growth giant. 3 consecutive years of setting unprecedented records. 19 million international visitors flock here like pilgrims to the shrine of consumerism. Let's do a quick calculation. 2 million visitors each month. This means that every minute, hundreds of passports are stamped at the immigration hall, carrying the dream of a global luxury capital. If money can't buy happiness, perhaps you just haven't spent it in Dubai yet. A travel vlogger once joked under the Burj Al Arab Tower. And at that moment, the whole world believed it was true. This city has succeeded in selling humanity a grand illusion, that humans can conquer nature with unlimited checks. They transformed the arid desert into artificial islands shaped like palm leaves, turning the scorching heat into gigantic indoor ski slopes. Dubai does not just build infrastructure, they build a symbol of absolute power against the finite. But this is the law of all things. The higher you rise, the harder you fall. When you build an economy based on glamour and record numbers, you have inadvertently signed a contract with the devil. You are forced to keep the wheels spinning faster, higher, and crazier every day. Just a moment's hesitation, and the entire structure will tremble. The higher you go, the thinner the air becomes. A financial expert left a cryptic comment in the Financial Times, and it seems that Dubai's lungs have begun to run out of oxygen just as they reached for the stars. Because after the peak, it is often not a flat plateau, but it could be a chasm or a sheer cliff. Many people say that what is happening in Dubai right now is an unexpected incident, but if you look more closely, everything didn't start in March 2026, but it had started to crack before that. It's just that, in the intoxication of luxury, no one wants to see them. On the surface, Everything still reaches absolute perfection. The hotels are still fully booked. The lights still shine so brightly that they can be seen from the sky. And champagne? It still flows abundantly at lavish parties. But if you step behind that gilded glass, the numbers start telling a completely different story. At the very moment Dubai claims to be the pinnacle of the world, the first emergency signals have been sent from the gilded waiting lounges. You see 5-star hotels still reporting high occupancy rates. But there is a dangerous detail. The average price per night is decreasing. What does it mean? They are having to demean themselves, shedding blood, to maintain the facade of always being crowded. That's not growth. That's an effort to save face. A user on a travel forum left a devastating comment. Dubai is still beautiful, but I am starting to feel like I am paying for something that is no longer special. A very light statement, but extremely concerning. Because in the world of the super rich, luxury does not disappear when customers leave. It is lost when customers begin to doubt its value. That doubt is spreading like a virus. On Reddit, a keyword appears with high frequency. Artificial. Not just one person, but thousands of comments share the same sentiment. Everything in Dubai is too perfect, to the point of being unreal. You can use money to build an artificial island, erect the tallest tower on the planet. But there is one thing that billions of USD cannot buy. A genuine feeling. And then, the fateful misstep appeared. Hidden fees, pool fee, resort fee, service fees for things that used to be standard. When a system begins to prioritize profit optimization over experience optimization, that's when it is digging its own grave. Just in the first few weeks of 2026, over 500 violations of opaque fee collection were recorded. This is not an individual fault. This is a signal of a system in decline. Dubai used to make me feel wealthy. Now it makes me feel like I'm being charged. A bitter tourist shared. This change is small, but it is the end. Because in reality, Dubai has never sold hotel rooms. Dubai sells the feeling of not having to think about money. And when customers start to frown and scrutinize every small charge on the bill, the game is over. Then the trigger appeared. Not loud at first, not a single explosion, but a series of cold chain reactions. When the airspace over the Gulf began to destabilize, the entire proud system of Dubai started to go off course. A network that once operated as precisely as a Swiss watch suddenly became chaotic. Emiratos, Etihad, British Airways, Lufthansa. No one is exempt from this purge. Hundreds of flights were canceled. What will happen when the largest transit hub on the planet is no longer a certain destination? A flight is no longer a service. It has become a gamble. The routes have to take detours, with travel times extending by 2, even 3 hours in midair. And remember this. Luxury travelers may spend money on extravagance, but they absolutely do not spend money on uncertainty. A Reddit user summed up the feelings of millions of travelers. I'm not afraid of Dubai. I just don't want to be stuck there if things get worse. That's how trust crumbles. Not through extreme fear, but through hesitation. When Western governments issue warnings, exercise caution when traveling to the Middle East, they don't need to impose a ban. Just one word, caution, is enough to place a gentle pause on a travel season. Between a peaceful Maldives and a cautious Dubai, the answer from those holding the money is always the same. Bookings don't fall gradually. It collapsed. In just a few weeks, airline bookings evaporated by 80%. Hotels lost half of their guests in just 1 month. A system originally optimized for a continuous flow of people suddenly finds itself standing in a desert devoid of any shadows. In tourism economics, perception is reality. Perception is reality. A destination does not need to be a direct war zone. It just needs to seem dangerous. And that's enough to shake an empire. But this is the key point you need to be alert to recognize. War is not what puts Dubai in the greatest danger. It was just the final push that revealed a system that had been unbalanced for a long time. Because what truly puts Dubai in danger right now? Not the unrest. It is a truth that the ruling class here is trembling, not wanting you to know. Let's pause for a moment and look beyond the dry statistics. Our biggest mistake is thinking that Dubai is losing tourists. In reality, Dubai is losing something much more precious, its own promise. Dubai has never sold the world's most beautiful beaches. You can find them in the Maldives. They also don't sell the oldest culture. Go to Rome or Athens for that. So why do millions of people flock to a barren strip of sand in the desert? Because Dubai sells a commodity more luxurious than diamonds. Absolute certainty. They have built themselves as the Swiss bank of the tourism industry. A place where safety is a default, Luxury is frictionless, and everything operates perfectly regardless of how crazy the outside world may be. Dubai's promise is very simple. Give us your money, and we will ensure everything is fine. But now, that promise is shattering into tiny pieces. When you have to worry about whether your flight will be canceled, when you start seeing cheap hidden fees on the hotel bill, and when you realize you're in a gray area of uncertainty, then the illusion of a safe paradise suddenly vanishes. I came to Dubai because I didn't want to worry. Now, in Dubai, it's the thing that worries me the most, a VVIP client wrote in a private group. And that is the kiss of death for this business model. Dubai lives by perception. In the world of the super rich, perception is reality. If people feel that a place is no longer a safe haven, it will immediately become a trap. You cannot maintain a gilded city based on hesitation. Understand this. Luxury does not disappear because of poverty, but it disappears when confidence disappears. Dubai did not collapse due to a lack of sand or cement. It collapsed because trust, the only fuel that kept those towers valuable, had run out. When the promise of perfection was broken, all that remained was a massive heap of steel and glass in the scorching desert. And when the feeling that everything will be fine disappears, everything else disappears too. Can Dubai buy back trust with deeper discounts? Or have they inadvertently crossed the point of no return? The answer lies in what is happening inside the newly emerging ghost towns right in the heart of this kingdom. If you think what we just discussed is bad, then buckle up. Because Dubai is not just facing one problem. They are facing impacts from 3 different directions, each with the potential to send this desert dream into the history books. First, let's consider the geopolitical factor. Dubai thrives by being the funnel of the world. But when the airspace over the Middle East became as fragile as a piece of glass, that funnel suddenly became clogged. The collapse of aviation is not just about canceled flights. It's a systemic stroke. When the world's largest airlines began to remove Dubai from their safe flight maps, the monetary lifeblood that nourished this city came to a halt. A transfer hub that can't transfer? It is no longer an international hub. That is a dead-end gilded alley. Next is the identity crisis. In advanced economics, there is an immutable rule. Luxury never coexists with risk. Dubai's customers do not buy vacations. They buy an escape from reality. But now, reality is knocking on the door of every 7-star suite. I don't spend $2,000 a night to lie there listening to alarm sirens or wondering if my flight home will be canceled. A comment on a luxury travel forum has laid bare the bitter truth. When trust in the promise of safety evaporates, Dubai remains nothing more than a soulless artificial structure. Customers are not just leaving. They are fleeing from a brand that has lost control of its own destiny. And the final factor, the coldest one, the rise of Saudi Arabia. While Dubai is struggling to patch up the cracks, right next door, the giant neighbor Saudi Arabia is launching a golden strategy. Saudi Arabia is pouring $800 billion USD, I repeat, $800 billion USD into an unprecedented macro-tourism gamble. With ambitious projects like Neom, The Line, and luxurious resorts along the Red Sea, they are doing what Dubai did 20 years ago, but on a larger, greener, and more authentic scale. With a marketing budget 4 times larger than its competitors, Saudi Arabia is draining the last remaining capital in tourists. A macro observer on Reddit commented, "Dubai used to be the only version. Now, it is just an outdated draft of Saudi Arabia. That is the cold, hard truth." Dubai is caught between one side being the war, the other side being customer skepticism, and behind it is a competitor willing to spend money to erase their existence from the world tourism map. 3 simultaneous blows. No break to catch your breath. No time to recover. When an empire is attacked from all sides, its collapse is no longer a possibility. It is a predetermined schedule. Can Dubai pull off a miraculous comeback? Or are we witnessing the final moments of Las Vegas in the Gulf? The answer lies in the final trump card they hold, but perhaps even that card has been bought out by Saudi Arabia. We have talked about the sounds of turmoil, the rise of Saudi Arabia, the horrifying drop in numbers. But the coldest truth does not lie in those factors. The real threat to Dubai is, the world has changed, but Dubai has not. We are witnessing a great migration of consciousness. The era of status travel, where people go to a place just to prove their wealth through golden photos on Instagram, is gradually fading away. Instead, it is the era of meaningful travel. The ultra-rich today no longer crave the frigid air-conditioned shopping malls. They are fiercely seeking connection with wild nature, with cultures that have a 1,000-year history, and most importantly, with real experiences. Dubai can build a wonder in 6 months, but they can't buy a 600-year history. They can create snow in the desert, but they can't create the feeling of a natural breath. I am so tired of things that are perfect to the point of being soulless. An anonymous billionaire shared in a recent interview. In Dubai, everything is programmed. I want something, not perfect, but alive. Dubai seems to be becoming a museum of the past, a relic of the bygone era of ostentatious extravagance. The problem with Dubai is not competition. The problem is that their core values have become an expired commodity. When the world craves authenticity, Dubai's perfect artificiality suddenly feels out of place. This city is like a talented actor who only knows how to perform one script, while the audience has left the theater in search of more ordinary and profound stories. Dubai does not lose in a military confrontation, but perhaps Dubai is losing a battle of mindset. Would you want to spend your precious vacation in a shiny golden cage that is empty inside? Or would you choose a place where every square meter tells you a real story? The escape from Dubai is not just an escape from a risky area. It is an escape from the monotony of artificial perfection. Look back at these images one last time, but with a clearer mind. Dubai International Airport's silence is not just a disruption of traffic. That marks the end of its status as a global hub, once the heartbeat of global flow. When the Iron Birds stop landing, Dubai becomes just a forgotten stopover in the sea of sand. The 5-star hotels close not because of a lack of rooms. That is the collapse of a luxury model out of sync. The world no longer craves gilded waiting lounges or cookie-cutter services. They are fleeing from a luxury that has become hollow and tiresome. And the Burj Khalifa? It is no longer a symbol of prosperity. Now it stands there as a milestone of loneliness, losing its inherent aspirational value. A symbol is only valuable when people still yearn to touch it. When the dream shatters, the skyscrapers are left as gigantic metal skeletons. Dubai probably won't collapse in the literal sense. The towers will still stand there, and the sand will remain beneath them. But the real question is Dubai still a dream? Can a city built entirely on faith survive when that faith has run out? We have believed in this illusion for too long, one user wrote. And now, the light has been turned on. Perhaps, for the first time in modern history, the world has stopped believing in Dubai. Perhaps, this is the first time in modern history that the world has stopped believing in Dubai. What do you think? Is this an inevitable collapse of a business model too reliant on the superficial, or just a brief pause before Dubai is reborn into something more practical? Are you still willing to book a ticket to come here tomorrow? Please leave your opinion in the comments section below, because your answer is the future of this city. A small note. The analyses above are based on economic data and current developments. The world always operates with unexpected variables, and this content is created to provide a multifaceted perspective, not as financial advice or an official forecast from any organization. Always be a vigilant observer. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next videos.